From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Good morning and happy Friday. It is a wet start out there as we're seeing some pretty widespread rainfall. It's been heavy at times. Looks like it's starting to get a little bit drier for the time being in the valleys, but of course that is set to change a little bit later in the day. Visibility is kind of splotchy right now. We are seeing some more consistent fog up in the Cascades as you would expect, so good reason to take it slow and use the low beams. Temperatures this morning near 40 degrees in the Yakima Valley, low to mid 40s in the basin. It's kind of the same thing in the foothills of the Blue Mountains. So in addition to needing a jacket, as you walk out the door, you probably need a rain jacket. Winds aren't doing too much right now, gusting upwards of maybe 25 miles per hour up towards the Hanford site, but winds will pick up a little bit later in the day as we do have a wind advisory in place for the Blue Foothills. We'll talk about that more in depth coming up a little bit later in the show. So here's the bottom line for the forecast. Widespread rain for today, snow levels dropping into tonight, and so we could have some moderate impacts to our Cascade passes into Saturday and Sunday, but overall in the next week will turn drier and cooler. I'll actually show you what our mountain passes look like for this morning coming up on Good Morning Northwest, which starts right now.
Straight ahead on Good Morning Northwest, an update on the man who was shot and killed in an uptown shopping center alleyway. Police saying they've made an arrest. And stakeholders at odds on whether lightening the caseload for public defenders would be a good thing or a bad thing. Emily Goodell with that report. Also ahead, President-elect Trump announces his new pick to serve as the U.S. Attorney General. This after former Congressman Matt Gaetz withdraws from consideration. We have all of your top stories. Good Morning Northwest starts right now.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good Morning Northwest on your side.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jessica Jalal. It is Friday, November 22nd. We're going to start this morning off with a follow-up on the man who was shot and killed on Saturday in the Uptown Shopping Center. Now, the Richland Police Department has made an arrest. 28-year-old Isaiah Rodriguez has been arrested in the shooting death of 36-year-old Michael Perkins. Police say he was found in Portland, and the shooting happened November 16th around 4 a.m. in the alleyway of the shopping center in Richland. And investigators with the Street Crimes Unit and the Criminal Investigations Team went through surveillance video as well as talked to witnesses. And during a press conference, RPD said they will do everything in their power to make sure Rodriguez stays in police custody. In continuing coverage this morning, stakeholders are at odds over the critical shortage of public defenders in Washington and whether a proposal before the state Supreme Court to lower caseloads will make the situation better or worse. Apple Valley News Now's Emily Goodell tells us the proposal is facing pushback from government and public safety leaders in Eastern Washington.
The proposal would cut the number of felony cases public defenders are allowed to handle by 2/3 over the next 3 years and would require cities and counties to double or in some cases triple their spending on public defense, all without additional help from the state. Under the proposed caseload limits, Benton County commissioners say they would have to hire 100 more attorneys over the next 3 years. And Yakima County commissioners say they would need an additional $18.3 million by 2028 to fund new positions, which they don't believe they'll be able to fill quickly. Yakima County already facing a lawsuit filed by ACLU Washington over defendants having to wait weeks without representation due to the existing public defender shortage.
Yakima County Superior Court is very concerned that the proposed caseload standards will put our community even more behind in ensuring all accused persons are adequately represented.
Another concern, what the Benton County Office of Public Defense calls an artificial cap on prosecutions. The number of prosecutions dependent on having a public defender available. And if public defenders aren't able to handle as many cases, prosecutors will have to prioritize violent offenses, sending other charges down to lower courts or not being able to charge at all. But ACLU Washington says if the caseload doesn't go down, public defenders will keep leaving, and the situation will only get worse.
At the end of the day, the concerns that have been expressed about limited number of attorneys, that's all true, and that means even more we have to retain the attorneys that are in the system and have ways to actually make it seem like a career that you could have in the long term. And I think these caseload standards are basically the only step on the way.
To address funding concerns, the Washington Office of Public Defense has recommended the Corps approve the new standards, but push the start date from July 2025 to January 2026 to allow them time to request a significant increase in state funding for city and county public defense services in the upcoming legislative session. There's no deadline for when the state Supreme Court has to make a decision on this issue, but they say they'll be meeting again on December 4th to further discuss the proposed caseload standards. Reporting from the Yakima Newsroom, Emily Goodell, Apple Valley News Now.
Thank you, Emily. Now, it's the season of giving, and Benton Franklin Fair and Rodeo is giving back to the Tri-Cities Cancer Center Foundation. For 16 years, the fair has been helping raise money for the center through their Tough Enough to Wear Pink Rodeo Day. The fair automatically donates $5,000 to the center for people attending the rodeo that day, but they also raise money throughout the year through donations, sponsors, and fundraising.
The really important part of our mission, a lot of people don't realize the fair is actually a nonprofit organization. It's a 501c3 nonprofit. And so our mission is to give back to the community. And so when we can have a year where we get a lot of support for programs like this, we're just really happy to be able to give money back to the community and to help places like the Tri-City Cancer Center Foundation do the work that they do for the people that live here.
The fair and rodeo raised just under $12,000 this year to donate to the center, and a total of about $225,000 have been donated since this tradition first started. Now, the owner of Storytime Bookshop was given a proclamation by Kennewick's pro temp mayor during a ribbon cutting to celebrate the official opening of the bookstore. Now, the owner says she's excited her small business is now open to the public, and her shop also includes a photo shoot corner for people to have family, fun, or even professional photos taken. And she says her bookstore goes beyond just reading.
Not only storybooks, but also curriculum for homeschool families and classes for those who are looking for daytime programs or free story times, as well as after-school crafternoons for those who need a little bit of time before they get home after school.
If you are unable to make it to this event, starting in January, the bookstore will start having book signing events of local and regional authors. Up next on Good Morning Northwest, the temperatures are only getting more frigid. And coming up, we tell you which warming center recently opened up. But exactly how cold are we going to get today? Well, Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth lets us know in his first alert forecast. That is in just a few minutes.
Are you ready to shop? Because you know we got the deals during the Black Friday Super Sale at Furniture Row. Right now, the more you buy, the more you save. Save $100 on every $1,000 you spend and watch the savings stack up. Check out special purchases while they last and save up to 50%. Or make your cash go further with 60 months no interest financing. Shop the largest selection at the lowest prices guaranteed. The Black Friday Super Sale, only at Furniture Row.
At Bruce Heating and Air, your comfort is our business. With over 30 years of professional HVAC experience for residential and commercial properties, you can rest assured your heating and air system is in good hands. In addition to providing quality heating, air conditioning, ventilation, and installation services, Bruce Heating and Air also houses a full-service sheet metal fabrication shop.
Through December 31st, receive rebates up to $1,850 off on a new Daikin Fit system when you finance through Bruce Heating and Air. Terms and conditions apply. See dealer for details.
Once, this table belonged to you. But when you decided to donate it to Goodwill, it transformed into their table, supporting before-school gatherings, cherished family dinners, and creative crafting sessions. Its impact stretches even beyond. Goodwill utilizes the proceeds from its sales to assist local individuals in overcoming employment hurdles, providing training and job placement services not only for individuals, but also for local businesses. And that's how one table can support the opportunity for everyone to create their own stories and memories. Goodwill. Donate, shop, impact locally.
At Mattress Depot USA, we're all about being friendly.
Customer friendly.
Our sleep consultants would tailor the perfect sleep solution just for you.
Local friendly.
We grew up here.
Brand friendly.
The top brands like Sealy, Stearns & Foster, Tempur-Pedic.
Price friendly.
We always give you the best value.
We might just be the friendliest place on earth. Excuse me? Don't worry, you're still the happiest.
Low prices every day. Mattress Depot USA.
Have we got a Saturday afternoon face-off for you? The Kraken head to LA for a duel with the Kings. Can they knock them off their thrones? Kraken, Kings, pregame at 12:30, Saturday on MeTV.
Sounds good.
And then the line goes silent.
All new 2020.
At what point do you realize I might be dealing with a serial killer?
Whatever he did, I'm going to get it.
2020, tonight on ABC.
Baltimore battles the LA Chargers on Monday Night Football. Apple Valley News Now. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colberth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. We have this wind alert that is in place for the foothills of the Blue Mountains. This runs until 3 p.m. this afternoon. Some of these winds could gust upwards of 40 miles per hour. We'll keep a close eye on things. Now let's pivot to the road conditions, specifically up in the Cascades. This is US 2 at Stevens Pass. It is a little snowy, a little slushy. Traction tires are advised. And then I have I-90 at Snoqualmie Pass queued up. Slushy, traction tires also advised here. And then at White Pass, of course, this is typically our worst pass in the area in terms of road conditions. Packed snow, traction tires are required this morning. And we are expecting maybe another good 6 to 8 inches of snow for White Pass over the next 48 hours. And of course, we'll talk more about the snowfall from this storm system coming up a little bit later in the show. But first, here is your day planner for lower elevations for today. You can see, well, by 8 this morning, widespread wet weather, temperatures in the 30s and 40s. By lunchtime, also widespread wet weather, temperatures up into the 40s and 50s. We'll be stuck in the 40s come time for 4 p.m. as, again, should be pretty wet out there. Although we could run into a little bit of a lull during the midday hours, but we're going to see it's going to end up being a pretty short-lived lull. So for today, we'll have, again, got to say it one more time, widespread wet weather, seasonal high temperatures in the 40s and 50s, and winds gusting out of the south and southeast between 25 to 40 miles per hour, the fastest wind gust being in the foothills. Then for tonight, overnight lows dropping down into the 30s and 40s. Snow levels dropping for tonight. I'll tell you how low, and I'll tell you just in general how much rain and snow we can expect from the storm system coming up in a few minutes.
Thank you, Josh. And speaking of cold temperatures, the Yakima Nation's cold winter shelter is now open in the city of Toppenish. This is for all unhoused community members within the nation. Now, the shelter is located on First Avenue and it has 50 cots available. Officials say each person that's seeking assistance will get socks, a sleeping bag, and more depending on availability. A washer and dryer are in-house for staff to assist with laundry, and all attendees will be searched for drugs and weapons, as well as other prohibited materials. All are welcome to come, regardless of whether you're enrolled in the Yakima Nation Reservation and treaty territories. Also, another reminder to stay with us on our First Alert Weather, both on air and online for weather updates. We have local, regional, and national coverage so that you can plan before you head out the door, and it's all at applevalleynewsnow.com. Up next on Good Morning Northwest, Russia has launched a new kind of weapon into Ukraine, and Russian President Vladimir Putin says he's entitled to do so. We have the details coming up in your national news.
At J-Day Boba and Cafe, every sip is a smile. With boba teas to freshly brewed coffee, we've got options for everyone. Grab a drink and Vietnamese food and enjoy. Order today. J-Day Boba and Cafe in Kennewick. Open 7 days a week from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m.
It's that time of year again to get the Honda of your dreams during Happy Honda Days, where you'll find great offers on a sporty new Civic, spirited Accord, fun to drive HRV, and versatile CRV. So don't wait. Turn your holiday dreams into reality with a new Honda named KBB.com's best value brand. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or visit your local Honda dealer today.
This winter, escape to the mountains of Leavenworth with Beaver Valley Lodge, where fresh snow blankets the world and adventure is just outside your door. From skiing Plain Valley ski trails to peaceful snowshoe trails, the choices are endless. After a day in the snow, return to Beaver Valley Lodge to warm up by the fire, sip hot cocoa, and let your worries melt away. Book your winter getaway today at Beaver Valley Lodge, where you come as a guest and leave as a friend.
Dishwasher on the fritz. Laundry giving you fits. A water heater that quits. In a world without Culligan, hard water makes life harder. Get a Culligan softener, the world's best. Put your water worries to rest.
Welcome to Chris's Recovery Shop.
Is your boat upholstery starting to look worn or has tears? From tops to seats to panels, we have you covered. Do you own a business and need repairs to seats or furniture? From agricultural to restaurant, we have you covered. Got a classic car that needs a little interior TLC? From seats to armrests and panels, we have you covered here too.
Chris's Recovery Shop in Yakima,
where we keep a good thing going.
Tonight.
911, what's your emergency?
And then the line goes silent.
All new 2020.
At what point do you realize I might be dealing with a serial killer?
Whatever he did, I'm going to get it.
2020, tonight on ABC.
At J-Day Boba and Cafe, every sip is a smile. With boba teas to freshly brewed coffee. We've got options for everyone. Grab a drink and Vietnamese food and enjoy. Order today. J-Day Boba and Cafe in Kennewick. Open 7 days a week from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m.
The Krakens in L.A. to face the Kings, Saturday at 12:30 on MeTV. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Again, we have widespread rainfall and snowfall this morning, although snow levels are around 5,000 feet. So this is mostly rain, and snow levels are going to stay around 5,000 feet for today. We'll put this into motion with Futurecast. You can see here's that midday lull that I was talking about. This is around lunchtime. A few showers still on the map, but that's going to be pretty short-lived as we'll see the arrival of this next band of rain and snow by 5 p.m. You can see this one looks like it's mostly going to be concentrated over the Blue Mountain Range, and by the time we get to midnight, it should be mostly in Walla Walla and Umatilla County. Snow levels at this point dropping down to around 3,500 feet. Then Saturday morning, this model picking up on this little complex of rain and snow showers, and then a little bit later in the day, mainly focused up along the Cascades as snow levels will stay around 3,500 feet. And so that's why we are expecting some snow for our Cascade passes. We'll touch on that in just a second. But here's some of the water totals we're expecting over the next 48 hours. We're thinking up to an inch for the Blue Foothills and Blue Mountains, and then up to a half an inch for the Cascades, for the valleys, and for the lower Columbia Basin. Again, snow levels around 5,000 feet for today, dropping down to 3,500 feet for tomorrow. So with that being said, here's some of the snowfall totals we're expecting over the next 48 hours. We're thinking for Snoqualmie, Stevens, and Blewett passes 2 to 4 inches. For White Pass, 6 to 8 inches. Then for Cabbage Hill and the Battle Mountain Summit, less than an inch. For Tollgate off of Oregon 204, probably 1 to 2 inches. So definitely the biggest impacts will continue to be off of US Highway 12. Then into Sunday, we'll have a little bit more wet weather, but not much more. Maybe up to another half an inch of water up in the Cascades, but probably less than 1/10 of an inch for the valleys, basin, foothills, and even for the Blue Mountains. And in terms of additional snowfall, we're also not expecting that much more for Sunday. Then there's another storm system into Monday and Tuesday. That one not looking too impressive, and overall will trend drier into Thanksgiving Day. And also will trend cooler too. Look at these high temperatures for Thanksgiving Day. 42 degrees in the Tri-Cities. Brr. All right, here's a 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities. Small shower chances linger Saturday through Tuesday. Then we're drier and much cooler by next Wednesday and Thursday. In Yakima, wet Friday, mostly dry Saturday through Monday, then dry past Tuesday as highs slip into the 30s by Thanksgiving. In Ellensburg, the same cycle as Yakima. Small shower chances Saturday through Monday, dry past Tuesday, then turning colder for the holiday. In Hermiston, small chances of wet weather linger Saturday through Tuesday, then turning drier and cooler for the middle of next week. Then in Walla Walla, more wet weather likely Saturday, especially early, mostly dry Sunday, maybe wetter Monday, then trending drier again.
Thank you, Josh. In national news this morning, President-elect Donald Trump has tapped former Florida Attorney General Pam Bondi as his pick to become the next U.S. Attorney General. Last night's announcement follows former Congressman Matt Gaetz' announcement withdrawing himself from consideration for the post. Trump, in a statement on his Truth Social platform, said that Bondi is smart and tough and that she'll refocus the Justice Department. The Bondi announcement was met with strong support from several Republican senators on social media, and Bondi was a member of Trump's legal team during the proceedings of his first impeachment. She finished her second term as Florida AG in 2019, and Gaetz was Trump's first choice for U.S. Attorney General, but concerns grew that he wouldn't be able to gather enough support for confirmation given sexual misconduct allegations against him. Gaetz has denied the allegations, but reacting to the Bondi announcement, Gaetz said in a social media post he called it a, quote, stellar selection. Now, Russian President Vladimir Putin is threatening the U.S. and Ukraine with a reminder that he's capable of launching nuclear weapons. The Pentagon confirms Russia has fired a new kind of medium-range ballistic missile into Ukraine, one that's capable of carrying nuclear warheads. Putin says the strike was retaliation after Ukraine used U.S. and British weapons inside Russia this week. In a video, Putin says he believes Russia is entitled to strike against countries that provide weapons to Ukraine that Ukraine in turn uses to attack Russia. Up next on Good Morning Northwest, actress Anne Hathaway is keeping the good news coming. Earlier this year, she talked about returning for a Princess Diaries sequel and a Devil Wears Prada sequel, and now she's set to be in the movie adaptation of another very popular book. We tell you what it is in your entertainment headlines after the break.
Welcome to Nissan. Are you interested in
test drive?
Absolutely.
There's the all-new Kicks, the new Frontier, and the Nissan Rogue. Hurry in to the Nissan year-end sales event now. Get $1,250 customer cash on Rogue Platinum.
There is a place where magic seems to hide around every corner, where cherished memories are born in twinkling snowflakes, where enchanting adventures await all who explore. Where is this real-life winter wonderland? Nestled by the lake is Coeur d'Alene's Holiday Light Show. Be the first to see our all-new grand floating Christmas tree, with holiday getaways starting at only $246.
New Alka-Seltzer Plus Cold or Flu Fizzy Chews. Chew, fizz. Feel better fast. No water needed. New Alka-Seltzer Plus Fizzy Chews.
Diabetes can impact your eyes and kidneys, but many complications can be prevented with the right care. Find out how at AppleValleyNewsNow.com.
Diabetes Awareness Month, sponsored locally by Prosser Memorial Health. This is how we care.
Unwrap smoother skin this season with Curve Appeal. Imagine flawless, touchable skin with pain-free laser hair removal using our new Splendor X machine. Right now, sessions starting as low as $60. Only 6 sessions needed. Don't wait. It's the perfect treat for yourself or someone special. And for the holidays, give the gift of confidence and beauty with our Curve Appeal gift certificates. Book now and let us bring out your holiday glow with Splendor X. CurveAppealTC.com.
Save through Monday with Bi-Mart's latest savings book. See the savings online or pick up a copy in store. Seattle's best ground coffee is just $4.99. All party-size bags of chips are 2 for $7. Select Pepsi brand 12-packs or buy 2, get 1 free. Plus save in our bonus zone on an Element 55-inch smart TV and hot-priced half-pound bags of Werner beef jerky. Members save more with our latest savings book at Bi-Mart.
Welcome to Nissan. Are you interested in
test drive?
Absolutely.
There's the all-new Kicks, the new Frontier, and the Nissan Rogue. Hurry in to the Nissan year-end sales event now. Get $1,250 customer cash on Rogue Platinum.
A festive flight on Fly the Northwest. Apple Valley News Now at 6 Tuesday.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. In entertainment news, Anne Hathaway has signed on to star in Verity. It's the film adaptation of Colleen Hoover's best-selling book.
Hathaway will play Verity Crawford, a famous author who becomes incapacitated in a car accident, leaving her unable to finish her latest book series. Verity's husband hires a struggling young writer to complete the task, leading to a psychological thrill. Ride between the past and present.
That sounds pretty cool. So Verity was self-published by Hoover in 2018 and became a New York Times bestseller. It sold more than 1 million copies in 2023 alone.
This is Hoover's second novel to hit the big screen. Her book, It Ends With Us, was released last summer, starring Blake Lively.
And that was a pretty good book, too. Well, longtime Simpsons voice actor Pamela Hayden is retiring after 35 years on the show. The 70-year-old famously played Bart Simpson's nerdy sidekick Milhouse Van Houten, among dozens of other Simpsons characters.
Hayden says she especially loved the clumsy Milhouse character because he's always getting knocked down and keeps getting backed up. I think Chumbawamba once said that. Hayden says she's leaving the show to pursue other creative outlets.
And her last show will air on November 24th.
Talking about music now, Apple is dubbing Billie Eilish the voice of her generation.
Not surprising at all. So Eilish has been named the 2024 Apple Music Artist of the Year, and along with her recent 7 Grammy nominations, Oscars, and Golden Globes, she says she's humbled by this recognition.
The singer was also the inaugural winner in 2019. Apple says the 22-year-old's music has a cultural impact on women and little girls around the world, specifically with her song, What Was I Made For?, which was featured in the Barbie movie.
Such a good song. And the selection process for Apple's Artist of the Year takes about 6 months for the editorial team of 8 to 10 people. Are you an Apple Music user or Spotify?
I use Spotify.
Okay.
Because I got it for free in college.
Oh,
or
see,
I got
I
the
had
discount.
a discount for the Apple Music, so I just continued to use that. But I always get jealous this time of year because Spotify comes out with the pretty Wrapped where you can see, you know, all your favorite artists for the year, which you listen to the most. So
yeah, I mean,
it's about that time.
It's about that time.
I know.
Excited.
I mean, Apple has one, but it's not as cool looking. So
yeah, that's tough.
Well, coming up next on Good Morning Northwest at 5:30, Thanksgiving is next week, and if you're hosting, you're probably preparing, or at least mentally preparing, maybe even dreading it. But this year is even more challenging because of historic food price increases. Now, to help ease your stress, coming up, we'll talk about ways you can save on Thanksgiving dinner. But first, let's check out your Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, Meta taking on investment scams. Facebook and Instagram's parent company says it has taken down more than 2 million accounts linked to investment scams so far this year. Those scams, operating mostly from Asia, involve victims making crypto investments before fraudsters take off with their funds. Next, the new voice message transcription feature on WhatsApp. The feature will create a text version of voice clips to use when it's inconvenient to listen to the messages. WhatsApp says it is rolling out for Android and iPhone users in the coming weeks. And finally, Spotify is rolling out a slew of new features for audiobooks. Perhaps the most significant is a built-in sleep timer. Users who tend to doze off while listening to a book can preset a time for it to stop playing so you can pick up where you left off when you wake up. Those are your Tech Bites. I'm Rhiannon Alley. Have a great day, everyone.
It's time for the main event. Wayfair's Black Friday Savings Spectacular is here. Right now, get up to 80% off furniture and cookware, holiday decor, and more at Wayfair's lowest prices of the year. Plus, score 24-hour flash deals you have to see to believe. And get free shipping on everything. Save up to 80% off Wayfair's Black Friday Savings Spectacular, now through December 2nd.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
Sore throat got your tongue? Mucinex Insta-Sue Sore Throat Medicated Drops. Uniquely formulated for rapid relief that lasts and lasts. That's my baby! Try our new sugar-free cough drop. Insta-Soothe!
Want to know a secret? More than just my armpits stink. That's why I use Secret Whole Body Deodorant everywhere.
4 out of 5 gynecologists would recommend Whole Body Deodorant, which gives you 72-hour odor protection.
From your pits to your Secret Whole Body Deodorant.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good Morning Northwest, on your side.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jessica Jalal.
And I'm Josh Colbert.
All right, Josh, it is Friday. We finally made it to the weekend. How's it looking for us this weekend? Cold, chilly, frigid?
Yeah, it's looking average for this time of the year, which means cool.
Frigid.
We're from the south, so
Yeah.
40s and 50s. I think we classify that as cold. It's looking a little bit drier this weekend, though, especially in between the mountain ranges, but it is not dry for this morning. We'll get to that in a second. First, let's take a look at some of those temperatures as you're headed out the front door. We're near 40 degrees in Ellensburg and Yakima, a little bit warmer, more like in the mid-40s in portions of the basin and low to mid-40s in the foothills of the Blue Mountains. So yeah, all of us need a jacket for this morning, but probably a rain jacket in addition to that. More on that in just a second. You see the wind gusts gusting upwards of 15 to 20 miles per hour right now in the basin. A little bit later today, they could gust upwards of 40 miles per hour, mostly in the foothills, though. Visibility is, patchy. There is some patchy fog out there, but especially up in the Cascades. So good reason to take it slow on I-90 or on US 2, US 12, really any of the Cascade passes. All right, here's that widespread rainfall I was talking about. It looks like some of this is starting to move back into the valleys again. Snow levels around 5,000 feet. That's where they're going to stay throughout the course of today. So here's your umbrella cast for the Tri-Cities. Remember, I was talking about that little midday lull, but then we have that secondary round that we'll have to deal with into the afternoon and evening. So for today, it's going to be cool. It's going to be damp. It's going to be gray. I'll take you on a zone-by-zone tour of today's forecast coming up in a few minutes.
Thank you, Josh. Now, starting off this half hour in education news, 3 schools in the Walla Walla Public School System are being honored for their academic achievements. They're also being recognized for helping close opportunity gaps. Apple Valley News Now's Riley Fitzgerald spoke with principals of all 3 of the schools who each had plenty to say about their students.
Prospect Point Elementary School in Walla Walla named on the 2025 U.S. News Best Elementary Schools list. This is for the top 40% of elementary schools in the state of Washington, and also the highest in the Walla Walla Valley. This one has to do with state assessments. But Prospect Point principal Justin Vernon says the school is focused on progress.
We do look at the state scores, and they're important, but we also know that we're really looking at growth and where kids are at from the start of the year to the end of the year. And if they're not where we need them exactly, we change what we're doing, and we look at the data, and we just are continually trying to improve just to grow the kids so they feel successful.
On the latest state assessments, 56% of Prospect Point students scored at or above the proficient level in math and 52% in reading. Then 2 more Walla Walla schools are being recognized, this time by the Washington School Recognition Program for Outstanding Achievement. The first, Pioneer Middle School, has been recognized in the 2022-2023 school year for closing opportunity gaps for students' growth and academic achievement. Pioneer Middle School Principal Chris Duncan says a number of the students are English language learners or have learning or physical disabilities.
I have an amazing leadership team. I have a wonderful office staff, amazing support people, and all of the work that they do for our students is very intentional and very driven around reducing the hurdles and barriers that many of our students face so that they can achieve at the same level as their peers.
Closing opportunity gaps refers to the supportive and effective learning environment that meets the needs of all of its students. The goal is to prepare those students for high school. Another school being honored by the Washington School Recognition Program, Edison Elementary School. The program is recognizing Edison for outstanding achievement for both the 2021-2022 school year and 2022 to 2023. For Edison, it's about promoting growth. Edison Elementary School Principal Jenny Foster says this award highlights the school's commitment to fostering a supportive and effective learning environment that meets the needs of all of its students.
We knew we had this opportunity to look at where kids were at, how did we meet them where they were at, and then be super intentional of providing programming that would close that gap for them.
Foster highlighted the specialists, Title and Learning Assistance Program teachers, along with classroom teachers and paraeducators who are focused on student growth. For each of these schools, it's a culmination of the hard work of students, the dedication of the staff, and the unwavering support of families and the community. In Walla Walla, Riley Fitzgerald, Apple Valley News Now.
Thank you, Riley. And the Washington School Recognition Program selects schools on performance as evaluated through the Washington School Improvement Framework, which aligns with federal guidelines. Now, continuing with the education theme, we have great news for Oregon schools. The Oregon Department of Education releases school and district profiles for the 2023 to 2024 school year, and the percentage of ninth graders on track to graduate from high school increased to almost 85%. That's about 1% higher than the previous school year and the second highest rate ever recorded. Also, the percentage of students who were regular attenders is around 66%, which is nearly 4% higher than the year prior. Now, the jump included a nearly 7% increase for elementary school students. In continuing coverage, Scout Clean Energy says it has signed the site certification agreement for the Horse Heaven Clean Energy Center. This follows Governor Inslee's approval in October, which allows Scout to continue moving towards construction of the largest clean energy project in Washington state history. It's set to take place along Horse Heaven Hills south of Kennewick, and the company is planning to build wind turbines along 24 miles of the property. Apple Valley News Now has done extensive reporting on the story, and to find our previous coverage, visit applevalleyNewsNow.com. And it's time for consumer news now. So Thanksgiving is next week, and if you're hosting, you're probably preparing or mentally preparing. And this year can be especially challenging in the wake of historic food price increases. The Wells Fargo Agri-Food Institute says turkeys are expected to cost less than last year, but the price of ham is up. ABC's Melissa Adon has tips on how to stay within your budget.
The grocery bill for Thanksgiving dinner can add up quickly, but there are ways to save. Some stores are offering special deals like Target's $20 Thanksgiving meal for 4 or Amazon Fresh's savings on Thanksgiving essentials. The Wells Fargo Agri-Food Institute compared the cost of buying store brands versus name brands.
It should come as no surprise that when looking at the store brands, they ended up being the best deal available for consumers. We saw the average cost of a Thanksgiving meal for 10 come in at about $73. Now, when we looked at the name brands, that same menu came in around $90.
In its report, the group notes that in several categories, name brand products are actually less expensive than the store brand, and in others, prices are almost the same.
While store brands are up 3% year over year, name brands actually came down about 0.5%.
The Institute claims mixing and matching between store brands and name brands may be the way to go this year.
So what we've seen with turkeys is that although the store brand comes in less expensive than the name brand, that pricing gap has really narrowed. So for consumers that have a preference, they should feel comfortable going ahead and spending for that name brand.
For prepared stuffing mixes,
and we've actually seen the name brand come up 9% and the store brand up 3%. So the store brand really remains the better value.
Thanks to a good harvest this year, prepackaged salads are relatively inexpensive, but a store brand could save you about $3. For cranberries, the name brand is surprisingly the lower priced option.
The 12-ounce bag is down about 3% versus last year. So you're going to save money using the national brand with cranberries this year.
When it comes to dinner rolls, both name and store brand prices are up 3% from a year ago.
You're going to save money in the baked goods section with dinner rolls by sticking with the store brand.
And if pumpkin pie is on the menu,
we're seeing name brands up 1%, store brands up about 3%, but really the price differential between the two is minimal, so go with your preference here.
Melissa Adon, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Coming up next on Good Morning Northwest, the Seattle Kraken is on kind of a hot streak. I say kind of because although the team is scoring goals, they're also preventing them. However, one player is a big factor in why the team has won 5 out of their 6 home games. And coming up, Dan Hansen has this week's Kraken Profile of the Week. That's after the break.
Baltimore battles the LA Chargers on Monday Night Football. Apple Valley News Now.
Light up the holidays and the road at Overturf Kia. Haul the whole crew comfortably in a new 2025 Kia Carnival LXS. Starting at $40,160. Find 8 passenger seating, advanced driver assistance systems, heated seats, and more. Plus, get 5.99% interest for 72 months. Overturf Kia at the base of the Blue Bridge in Kennewick.
The savings continue with Cascade Farm and Outdoors' latest mailer. Pick up a copy in store. All Ariat sweaters and hoodies are now $10 off. Wrangler Premium Performance Advanced Comfort Jeans are just $39.99. All Stanley feed pellets are 30% off. Find Cascade 50-pound bags of layer pellets for just $15.99. Plus, save on Purina Pro Plan bags of dog food. Store-wide savings are going on now at Cascade Farm and Outdoor.
The fridge is broken. How are we going to replace it before the holidays?
Swing into Fred's Appliance today for our Black Friday super sale and experience unbeatable deals on the largest selection of in-stock, get-it-today inventory in our region.
Welcome to the future of refrigeration with the LG Craft Ice Refrigerator. For $17.99 after a $100 mail-in rebate, elevate your kitchen in style. The LG Craft Ice Refrigerator combines elegance and functionality for today's lifestyle.
At Fred's, we sell appliances, only appliances.
It's time to secure your RV for fall camping from your destination store in Pasco. Broadmoor RV Superstore is jam-packed with new 2025 models with all new floor plans, and they're all priced to sell. Our professionals can help you choose your RV for fall camping and take advantage of the great deals so you can be ready for next spring. Family owned and operated since its inception. Broadmoor RV, the #1 travel trailer dealer in Washington State. Broadmoor RV, your destination store in Pasco.
Smoke City for Less is your one-stop shop in Kennewick, Richland, West Richland, Pasco, and Hermiston. It's time to start thinking of gifts for your friends and family. Smoke City for Less has all kinds of great ideas, like favorite character bags, trays, accessories, candles, and incense. And if your loved one is hard to shop for, get them a gift card so they can get what they want. Lowest prices and the largest selection of vape mods and the best batteries, tobacco products, Kratom, and specialty products too. Check them out this season. Smoke City for Less. We smoke the competition.
One great idea can change your life.
Tonight's Shark Tank is all new.
That's the American dream right there.
With guest shark Todd Graves, founder of Raising Cane's.
I want to be on a team with you.
Emmy-winning Shark Tank, new tonight on ABC and stream on Hulu.
This morning on GMA, Denzel Washington Live. Plus, it's Oprah's favorite things.
You, GMA, and my favorite things.
This morning, only on
Good Morning America. Let's do this.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colberth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Let's take you on a zone-by-zone tour of today's forecast. We're going to start off in Kittitas County, where these winds are going to gust out of the east and southeast, upwards of 25 miles per hour. The best coverage of rainfall today is obviously going to be up in the Cascades, but the valleys could see some moisture as well. Snow levels staying around 5,000 feet, but they will drop down to 3,500 feet for tonight. In the Yakima Valley, these highs up into the upper 40s, 48 for Sunnyside, 48 for Union Gap, 47 in Yakima. Light winds overall. And then in the lower Columbia Basin, these highs getting up to around 50 degrees, if not some mid-50s, 53 for Hermiston, 53 in Umatilla. Light winds overall in the basin, and it's also going to be a gray and damp day out there. And then in the foothills of the Blue Mountains, a little bit warmer. We'll be up into the upper 50s, maybe even some 60s, but in the Blue Mountains proper 40s and 50s. This is definitely where we're going to see the strongest wind gusts today, gusting out of the south and east, upwards of 40 miles per hour. We have that wind advisory that's still in place until 3 p.m. I want to take a little bit of a retrospective look at that Tuesday, Wednesday storm system. Look at all of this green here, which means that we're finally running some seasonal rainfall surpluses because of the rainfall that we saw from the storm system. So we saw about 15% improvements in the Kittitas Valley, about a 55% swing in the Yakima Valley. We expanded our surplus in the Tri-Cities, a very subtle flip in Hermiston, and we still have a lot of work in front of us in the foothills of the Blue Mountains. But we're expecting more rainfall, obviously, for the next 48 hours. I'll tell you how much coming up in a few minutes.
Thank you, Josh. Now, the Seattle Kraken is on a bit of a hot streak, at least at home. The team is scoring goals and at the same time preventing them. Kraken goalie Joey Daccord is a big reason the team won 5 out of their last 6 games at home. And Apple Valley News Now's Dan Hansen has this week's Kraken player profile of the week.
Throughout this homestand, Gooby's been out, not able to go, and Joey's had the net for 4 of those games, the first 4 games, and played extremely well.
Daccord notched his first shutout of the season against the Nashville Predators. He saved 24 shots in the game. Head coach Dan Bilesma says in the game against the New York Islanders, he was disappointed Decord didn't get the shutout. However, he says Decord's first shutout of the season just shows how valuable he is to this team.
The Boston game really for me was probably Joey's best game where he was challenged a lot, and especially in the first period was challenged a lot, and it was outstanding for us.
In the games Decord started for the Kraken this year, the team is 9-3-1, which ties him for fourth best in the league. Decord played for Seattle's AHL affiliate, the Coachella Valley Firebirds, and set a win-loss record of 26-8-3 before signing a 2-year contract with the Kraken in 2023. Decord holds the record for the first goalie to record a shutout in the Winter Classic. In the last 4 games at home, the Kraken are outscoring their opponents 18-8 with Decord between the pipes.
Decord and the Kraken travel to LA for a matchup with the Kings this Saturday, and we'll have that game on our MeTV channel beginning at 12:30. Up next on Good Morning Northwest, the DEA is temporarily halting the random searches they conduct on travelers passing through airports. The Department of Justice ordered this pause after a report reveals some incriminating practices some agents were doing. We have what they were doing, plus more of your top stories in the morning sprint. But first, Josh will have your full weather forecast.
This holiday season, believe in the magic of the North Pole. As you set sail for a holiday adventure like no other, marvel over the stunning light display along the magical journey to meet Santa. Experience the magic that only happens on Lake Coeur d'Alene. Even the Grinch can't resist the holiday cheer. Book during Santa's Sneak Peek Week and enjoy 25% off tickets from November 15th to November 27th and discover the magic of the holiday season.
Welcome to Nissan. Are you interested in
test drive?
Absolutely.
There's the all-new Kicks, the new V6 powered Frontier, and the Nissan Rogue. Consumer Guide's Best Buy 10 years in a row.
Finished with all your holiday shopping?
We are now.
Hurry in to the Nissan year-end sales event. Now get $1,250 customer cash on Rogue Platinum, or get a low $299 per month lease on Rogue.
US Cellular has the incredible new iPhone 16 Pro, the first iPhone built for Apple Intelligence. Spread the word.
Apple Intelligence is personal, private, and oh so powerful, you dig?
And the all-new camera control will blow you away!
US Cellular has the amazing new iPhone. Also, Doug ate all the office cake.
Show me the tape.
See the tape tonight at 10!
Right now at US Cellular, get the new iPhone 16 Pro on us. No trade-in needed. US Cellular, built for us.
Smoke City for Less is your one-stop shop in Kennewick, Richland, West Richland, Pasco, and Hermiston. It's time to start thinking of gifts for your friends and family. Smoke City for Less has all kinds of great ideas, like favorite character bags, trays, accessories, candles, and incense. And if your loved one is hard to shop for, get them a gift card so they can get what they want. Lowest prices and the largest selection of vape mods and the best batteries, tobacco products, kratom, and specialty products too. Check them out this season. Smoke City for Less. We smoke the competition.
Why do people come to the University of Washington? They come here to find people who will inspire them, move them, change them. They come to solve big problems and prepare for careers where they can make a difference. They come to cheer on their Huskies in the greatest setting in college football. If you want to change the world, this is where you start. For passion, for possibility, be boundless.
Judy Justice, today at 4 on Apple Valley News Now.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. We continue to track widespread rainfall this morning. It's starting to move back into the valleys in addition to all the other microclimates that we cover. Snow levels around 5,000 feet. They'll stay around 5,000 feet for today. But you can see that as we get closer to lunchtime, we're going to have this midday lull, but that is going to be very short-lived as the next band of rain and snow is going to arrive by about 5 p.m. It looks like it's mostly going to be centered on the eastern half of our viewing area, specifically over the Blue Blue Mountains. Now for tonight, snow level is going to drop down to around 3,500 feet. That's where they're going to stay for most of Saturday and into Saturday morning. This model picking up on a little complex of rain and snow showers racing through the Blues. But for the rest of the day, I think this is mostly going to be confined to the Cascade Mountains. We'll show you how much snow we're expecting for our Cascade passes here in just a second. But here's some of the water totals we're expecting through the wee hours of the morning on Sunday. So we could have up to an inch for the Blue Mountains and foothills, up to a half an inch for the Cascades, for the valleys, and for the basin. And again, snow levels around 5,000 feet for today, dropping down to 3,500 feet for tomorrow. And so in terms of the snowfall totals we're expecting over the next 48 hours, I'm thinking 2 to 4 inches for Snoqualmie, Stevens, and Blewett Pass, 6 to 8 inches for White Pass, probably less than an inch for Cabbage Hill and the Battle Mountain Summit, and 1 to 2 inches for Tollgate at Oregon 204. So the biggest impacts will continue to be off of US Highway 12 in Yakima County. We'll have a little bit more wet weather into Sunday, maybe up to another half an inch of water for the Cascades, but less than a tenth of an inch for the valleys, basin, foothills, and for the Blues. And then additional snowfall, we're not expecting that much into Sunday. There's another storm system that we're tracking into Monday and Tuesday. That one also not looking that impressive when it comes to rainfall or snowfall. And our high temperatures, look at this, starting to trend below average by about 5 degrees for Thanksgiving Day. We might have a hard time making it out of the 30s here in the Tri-City. So that is going to be some chilly stuff. Here's the 7-day forecast in the Tri-Cities. Small shower chances linger Saturday through Tuesday. Then we're drier and much cooler by next Wednesday and Thursday. In Yakima, wet Friday, mostly dry Saturday through Monday. Then dry past Tuesday as highs slip into the 30s by Thanksgiving. In Ellensburg, the same cycle as Yakima. Small shower chances Saturday through Monday. Dry past Tuesday, then turning colder for the holiday. In Hermiston, small chances of wet weather linger Saturday through Tuesday, then turning drier and cooler for the middle of next week. Then for Walla Walla, more wet weather likely Saturday, especially early, mostly dry Sunday, maybe wetter Monday, then trending drier again.
Now, the morning sprint.
Time is now 5:50. It's time for your morning sprint in our 5 o'clock hour, and we're going to start off with the top 5 local stories that you need to know this morning. The Richland Police Department has made an arrest in a homicide that happened on Saturday. 28-year-old Isaiah Rodriguez has been arrested in the shooting death of 36-year-old Michael Perkins. Police say he was found in Portland, and the shooting happened around 4 a.m. in an alley of the Uptown Shopping Center. Now, to see our previous coverage on this story, head to our website. Scout Clean Energy has signed the site certification agreement for the Horse Heaven Clean Energy Center. This comes after Governor Jay Inslee's approval last month. The signing allows SCE to continue moving towards the construction of the clean energy project that's set to take place along Horse Heaven Hills south of Kennewick. The company is planning to build wind turbines along 24 miles of the property, and you can find more details about this on our website. And construction is beginning for a new Japanese restaurant in the area. There will be a groundbreaking today at 10 a.m. at Vista Field to celebrate, and Port of Kennewick officials will be there along with members of the Benton County Board of Commissioners, and there will be refreshments, and you can take a look at the new Vista Field developments. Award-winning actor Adam Beach will be at Heritage University in Toppenish today. He's set to share stories with students and the community about his trials and achievements of being an Indigenous First Nations actor. It starts at 11 a.m. and lunch will be provided. It's free and open to the public, but seating is limited, so get there early. It's National Adoption Day, and there are currently more than 1,000 children in foster care in the state. Now today, the public is invited to help celebrate adoption at the Benton County Justice Center, and the celebration starts at 3 p.m. Turning to your national news this morning, the free application for federal student aid, or the FAFSA form, is finally open. This is for students seeking college financial aid for the 2025 to 2026 school year, and it officially opened yesterday. It's typically opened on October 1st, but the Department of Education delayed the release after issues from last year's release, which came after they made big changes to the form. The Senate and the House of Representatives passed a bill earlier this week, and if signed into law, it will require the DOE to open the form on October 1st each year going forward. President-elect Donald Trump has tapped former Florida Attorney General Pam Bondi as his pick to become the next U.S. Attorney General. The announcement comes just hours after former Congressman Matt Gaetz removed himself from consideration for AG. Bondi was a member of Trump's legal team during the proceedings of his first impeachment. She finished her second term as Florida AG in 2019, and in a social media post, Gaetz called Bondi a, quote, stellar selection. Russian President Vladimir Putin is threatening the U.S. and Ukraine with the reminder that he's capable of launching nuclear weapons. And the Pentagon confirms Russia has fired a new kind of medium-range ballistic missile into Ukraine, one that's capable of carrying nuclear warheads. Putin says this was retaliation after Ukraine used U.S. and British weapons against Russia. And in a video, Putin says he believes Russia is entitled to strike against countries that provide weapons to Ukraine, that Ukraine in turn uses to attack Russia. In your business news, Meta says it's removed 2 million scam accounts. These are accounts linked to scam centers in Myanmar, Laos, Cambodia, the United Arab Emirates, and the Philippines. The scammers pose as fake people, target victims, build the victims' trust, and then they manipulate them into spending or sending money, typically cryptocurrency. Scam centers exploded in Asia during the COVID-19 pandemic, and a report from an independent research organization created by Congress says 300,000 people overseas are forced to work as criminals in scam operations under the threat of physical abuse. Random drug searches of passengers at airports will be halted for now, this as the Drug Enforcement Administration goes through an internal investigation. The Department of Justice ordered this halt after a report found that DEA agents could be violating constitutional rights when conducting searches. It found agents had not been trained on how to do searches, and the report says some passengers who refused the search ended up having to wait for a search warrant and missing their flight. Also, if agents found cash in their bags, they seized it through civil forfeiture, and the DEA has declined to comment. In your sports news, the Tri-City Americans snapped their 12-game winning streak, losing their first 2 games to Prince Albert and Saskatoon. The boys got back on track, winning their next 2, and the Ams have scored 11 goals in the first 5 games of the road trip, and they've also given up 11 goals to the opposition. They have 2 more games on the road before returning home November 30th for a matchup against Wenatchee. Shohei Ohtani and Aaron Judge are MLB's most valuable players for the year. The LA Dodgers' Ohtani was a unanimous selection as National League MVP by the Baseball Writers Association of America. It's his 3rd MVP award, and Judge was also a unanimous pick as American League MVP, winning the award for a 2nd time. And recently, Judge and Ohtani faced off in this year's World Series, which the Dodgers won. All right, trending this morning. So what you're about to see is not an optical illusion. It's the world's tallest woman enjoying tea with the world's smallest man.
How about that? And the internet is in love. Take a look. Rumasa Jelji stands at 7 feet 7 inches, while Jo Tiamji is a little more than 2 feet. Guinness brought them together to celebrate the 20th annual Guinness World Records Day.
That is so cute of Guinness World Records. Well, the women say it was tough to make eye contact. Oh my goodness. But they found common ground. They both love makeup, self-care, and doing their nails.
Oh, I love that.
That's so cute. I didn't know they do things like that.
Yeah, and if you average that out, 5'7", right here.
You should go join them.
Yeah, a good intermediate person. Yep.
Well, coming up next on Good Morning Northwest, Thanksgiving is fast approaching, and while you may be worried about dinner preparations or traveling, some of you may be worried about politics ruining your Thanksgiving. Coming up in our 6 o'clock hour, we go over tips from a psychiatrist on what to do if you're seeing loved ones that you don't see eye to eye with politically.
And it's a little wet out there for this morning. I'll show you who's seeing the rainfall and if we have any snowfall in the mix. That'll be coming up at 6.